All right, cool. Dossie, I'll go with that. Okay, I like keeping it simple. We'll go with Dossie. Okay. All right. So today's class is going to be the equation of wealth. Now, by the way, this equation has nothing to do with what you currently do with your job. It has nothing to do with Daniel. You're good, man. Don't even worry about it. It has nothing to do with your current job. It has nothing to do with your experience. It has nothing to do with anything that you think that it does. Okay. And in fact, the overall equation is actually really simple. It's not, in fact, an equation so much as a summation of a bunch of different parts that simultaneously work. All right. Equation was just the best way for me to put it. Okay. And so when it comes to wealth, there's one very important word you have to understand. Okay. You have to understand this word because most people don't actually understand it. Okay. And that word is value. Value. Now, what is value? In traditional, if you've ever done any type of sales, if you've ever done any type of, if you've ever worked at a grocery store or Walmart or whatever the case is, value is almost always determined by whether or not there is a need for a product or whether or not there is not a need for a product. It's almost always that. If there is not as strong of a need, they put it on sale. If there is a strong need, then they put it up at a astronomical price. If you lived in the U.S. when COVID happened, you may be familiar with this when toilet paper went through the roof. Okay, that people were trying to buy toilet paper on Amazon and it was like $40 a pop. All right, so you may be familiar with that idea, right? That's the traditional idea of value. Okay, that if there's a need, then the price is up high. If there's no need, then the price is low. Okay, and so this idea of value has essentially permeated itself throughout society, and it's something that people have consistently accepted. All right. Now, those companies may want to get that product out there into the world, so they are willing to take a hit on costs just to make sure that the product gets out and they can spend some money on creating a new product. But again, that is the general idea of value, that if there's a need, there's a high price, and if there's no need, there's a low price. When it comes to generating wealth, however, this idea goes completely out the window. Okay. This idea, if you have your own business, how many people here have their own business? Please put it in the chat. How many people here have their own business or want to start their own business? One of those two things. Okay, you do, Dossie? Okay, you have a business. Cool. Haley, you have a business. Nor, you've just started. Cool. Anna Carolina, you just started. Tamara, you just started. Cool. Okay, Daniel, I know you got one. We talked yesterday. Like, I know you got one, Daniel. But okay, so here's the thing, right? Most of the time when people start a business, and let me know if this is something you've done, because I may be saving you today. All right. Most of the time when people start a business, let's say it's a business for service. It's not they creating a product specifically, like say, I don't know, the tea that I'm drinking or like these headphones, right? They're creating a product or they're creating a service that they then offer to someone else, right? But when they go into their business, they apply product-based knowledge to what they believe their business should operate as. So in other words, they go to the grocery store, they see that the can of corn is what? I don't know, $2. And then they look at their own product and they do a similar type of thing for themselves because that's what they know in terms of equating value to their business. Okay. So let's say that person says, all right, I want to do private coaching with you, but doing private coaching is $5,000 or whatever the case is. To many people, that price is like, whoa, wait a second, $5,000? Now, I find it ironic because the same people who want to charge $5,000 for their services won't spend $5,000 to get coaching themselves. I've actually encountered this a lot with many people in the past, long time ago. So what I would tell them to do is go out and go spend $5,000, go do it. And you know what happens? Almost every time, invariably, but I can't do it. I can't afford that. That's outside of my. But you want someone to give you that much. You understand what I'm saying, right? So there's an incongruency there. There's a massive incongruency, and it's an emotional incongruency. You don't know what it feels like to spend that kind of money, but you want someone to give you that kind of money, right? Like there's an incongruency. So what will tend to happen is people will charge a per hourly rate because that's what they're accustomed to. So they've had jobs. Let's say they've gone to Walmart or this and another, and they'll say, hey, I'll charge X amount of dollars per hour. I'll charge $50, $60, $70 an hour, and I'll work with you for this amount of time, and then I'll invoice you when I'm done all the work, right? That's the way that a lot of people run their companies. Does this sound familiar to you guys? If so, just put it in the chat, But anyway, yeah, so that's what happens, right? Many people, when they apply employee logic to their personal business, and very rarely does it really work. Very rarely does it work. Or alternatively, what they will do is they'll charge a price, but then not actually believe in the price that they're charging. This is very common. Okay, this is very common. They'll go, oh, here's $5,000. Okay, I want to charge for this $5,000 of this, right? But they don't actually believe what they charge is worth it. This is also another really common element that happens in people's businesses. And that incongruency makes it really difficult for you to get the clients that you're looking for. It makes it really difficult. Like, there's such a massive separation. Okay. Going crazy equals going hard to making it successful. See, right there's your issue. That's the problem right there. There is no making anything successful. Okay. You're actually making things much harder on yourself by using that type of language. Oh, I got to make it work. I got to make it successful. Okay. That language right there is keeping you limited. It's actually stopping you from having what you want, or it's blinding you to it. It's completely blinding you to it because you're so accustomed to the idea of working hard or grinding, or what is it that they say? Hustle. You're going out there and hustling. Okay. You're so used to that idea. You embed it in your head and you've accepted that belief as true, but it's not. Okay. So let's go back to value. Now, everything I just said kind of leads up to this idea. And for this, I want to give you guys a working definition of what value is. Okay. Value is your requested expression of appreciation. Okay. I want you to think about what I just said. Value is your requested expression of appreciation. If you've been to my classes, you know what I define appreciation as. But if you haven't, appreciation in this case is the offering of happiness from one source to another source. Okay, whether that source be yourself to yourself or yourself to other people. Okay, that is appreciation. If I offer happiness to you, I am expressing appreciation to you. Okay, does that make sense? Put it in the chat. So that idea of value, that definition that I just gave you, okay, that definition, your requested expression of appreciation, that means what you are going to give to yourself. What are you giving to you? Okay. What are you giving to you to express and offer happiness to yourself? When you're charging a price, it doesn't matter. And I'm only using charging a price because it's a universal language. But I want to replace that. When you are requesting appreciation, okay, say someone, like for example, let's use me. When someone books a call with me, there is a requested expression of appreciation for that. Okay, because of the information that we're going to exchange in our conversation. So there is a requested expression of appreciation for that. And I enjoy doing it. So that's the gift that I give myself, right? I give myself the gift of being able to do what I do, but I also am receiving appreciation from a source for me to do what I like to do. Does that make sense? So if that makes sense, if that computes, if that gets into your mind, that sits there, it's like, okay, wait a second, I'm putting this together. I'm understanding. See, why your business isn't working, why the money isn't flowing, why this and others, because you're too busy thinking about everything that has nothing to do with you versus what does have to do with you. Your requested expression of appreciation. What do you give yourself? When someone offers me appreciation for my time, okay, when someone offers me appreciation for my time, that is not just them giving me appreciation, it's me giving myself appreciation for that time. I got to choose what I wanted to do with that time. That is, and if that is, I get to have that conversation, I get to help someone get to that next level, then great. And then they appreciate that. It's an endless loop of appreciation. Okay. And money is just a form of appreciation. It's just a form of it. So when you're looking at your business or whatever service you offer or whatever the case is, what is your value? What is your requested expression of appreciation? What is that? Do you know? Most people don't have a clue because they didn't even know this before now. So my question to you is, do you know what your requested expression of appreciation is? Put it in the chat. That's Sam.
Obviously. Hey, everyone. Who's here? Everybody?
People. Others.
You see our messy ass apartment. There's my desk. Hello, everyone. I just got back.
Have fun?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, see, she was sent out on an appreciation mission today.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's funny. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about
Appreciation.
Requested expression of appreciation. You got to go do something that was appreciation, and
I feel appreciated.
And she feels appreciated. You know what's going to happen with that?
What?
That's going to turn into cash.
You're going to make money.
You're going to turn into money, right?
Yeah.
It's going to turn. See, there you go.
Hey.
Okay, there you go. Right.
Right.
So, but right there again, think. Okay, if you don't know what your requested expression of appreciation is, when you go to talk to someone on the phone and try to get them as a client, what's going to happen? When they start asking you about all the stuff that you can do for them, this, that, and that, when they start doing that, guess what? You're not going to have a clue. You're going to be like, well, I can do this, I can do this. You're going to be talking about all the stuff that no one wants to hear about. You're going to be talking about, the product and the service, and no one cares about any of that. Okay? No one cares. And that's the truth. No one cares about your product. Okay? No one cares. No one cares. What they care about is how they are going to experience What? Let's see if you can figure this out based on what I've already told you. What do they care about? Put in the chat. Yeah. Haley, you get a cookie. That's yes. The feeling they get when they work with you. They are not interested in your product or your service because your product or your service is nothing more than a gateway for them to get the feelings that they're looking for. Okay, that's it. That's all they care about. So when you're out there hawking your product or your service, okay, you're out there hawking it. You're like, hey, here's my product, here's my service, here's my product, here's my service, and no one is biting. Now you know why. No one's interested. Okay, they only care about what you can make them feel. Because it's the same reason you watch your favorite TV show. It's the same reason you go to whatever favorite location you like to go to. It's the same reason that you got the pair of shoes that you love so much or your favorite car. It had nothing to do with the car. It had nothing to do with the movie. It had nothing to do with the shoes. It had nothing to do with your clothes. It had nothing to do with the location. It had everything to do with how you felt. So then why wouldn't you apply that to what you do too? Does that make sense? Will this be there'll be a replay. I'll put up the replay for this. So, all right, Dasi, catch you later. So, if going out to your favorite bar, does your favorite bar have to convince you as to why you should go there? Like, think about this for a second. Think for a moment. Use your own experience. When you go to the grocery store, does a grocery store have to convince you why you should buy food from it? Does it have to do that? Okay. Does a mechanic have to convince you as to why you should use them to fix your car? No, they don't. Okay. They don't. Think about it. So if you're on a call with someone and you're talking to them, why are you convincing them why they should spend money with you? Right? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? How do you know what gives them that type of feeling? That's a good question. Because you know what gives you that type of feeling. You know what does it for you. You know what does it for you. It's that simple. When you know what does it for you, this is where emotional development comes in. When you know what makes you feel a certain way, you already know how to multiply that outward, okay, to others, because it happens through you. It comes from in here and goes out there, not from out there to in here. So when you know how to do that for yourself, you'll know how to do that for others. The thing is, most people don't know how to do that for themselves. They don't know themselves that well. They think that making money is a process of things that you do, and it's not. It's a process of understanding how you feel, because what you feel is what equals cash. What you feel is what puts it in your pocket. That's the facts. Well, first and foremost, Anna Carolina, that's a great question. Okay. So sharing your happiness and appreciation, and that makes them feel good. Well, the thing is, you can't make anyone feel anything. That's not the point of this. I'm not telling you how to make someone feel. It's that you're offering it to them. Whether or not they accept that is a different matter, because their acceptance of your offer is independent of you. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you make them feel something. There's no making them feel anything. You can't make someone feel something. Something may trigger them and cause them to feel a certain way, but you yourself cannot go, okay, you're going to feel anger right now. You can't do that. It's not possible. It's not possible. That's independent of you. If you're looking to make someone else happy, what are you not doing? You're not focused on you, yourself. You're not focused on you. So yes, you do you and the rest will come. Okay. Now, yes, is there a process to understanding yourself? Well, there's a process that I have, that I use, that I created. Let's see, Dr. Catherine. Living in your happiness and enjoyment and finding people along the way who are attracted to your joy. Yes. Wonderful way to sum that up. That's exactly how it works. That's exactly how it works. You ever notice, you ever heard a phrase, put it in the chat if you've heard this phrase before. You're the sum of the 5 people around you. You ever hear that phrase? Put it in the chat. Okay. If you've heard that phrase, you've heard a lie. It's not that you're the sum of the 5 people around you. It's that the 5 people around you are you. They are you. The 5 people that you surround yourself with are you. Yeah, it's a lie. It's a big fat lie. It's such a lie that everyone says it, but no one ever questions it. No one ever questions it. No one ever says. No one ever goes, oh, they just go, oh, wow, that sounds so profound. No, they're just you. They are you. They are exactly what you see inside of you. The people who reflect you back to you. That's what those 5 people are. Those 4 people, those 3 people, those 2 people, that 1 person. Doesn't matter. They are you. So when you're sitting there like, oh, I got to get away from these people, it's not them. That's the problem. It's not them. That's the problem. You're not trying to get away from them. You're trying to get away from yourself. You're the sum of the 5 people around you is an excellent way to keep you limited. It's an excellent way because it sounds so profound, but it's complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense because to say that they are the sum, all of them equal you in terms of you're the sum, you are the sum of them. That means that that's an outside influence to you when it's not the case. Everyone that you meet, everyone that you talk to, everyone you listen to is nothing more than a reflection of you back to you. You listening to me right now is me telling you the truth that you've known, but you couldn't accept. I'm reflecting back that truth to you. Yeah, your network is your net worth. That's also a lie. That's also a lie. Because guess what? I make a lot of money, but a lot of the people I know don't have any money. So that's a flat out lie. It's a flat out lie. It's just a lie. It's not even true. Okay? But no one questions it. It just sounds nice. It sounds nice. But it's a lie. And it's a lie that people accept because it's coming from people that they consider to be reputable. But if you look deep down at yourself, and if you really are the person who creates your world, then how could it be possible that your net worth is your network is your net worth or vice versa? How could that be possible? It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. It's complete nonsense. So now that you've heard what I've just said, how do you feel about what I've just told you? Put it in the chat. Let me know. How do you feel about hearing that those things are lies? Your net worth is your network is your net worth. Oh God, man, I've heard that so many times. So many times. It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. Because if you're the source of money, if you are the source of money, how could that possibly be true? Like, how can it be true? It can't be. I feel relieved, liberated. There you go. See, you're free. I have given you a gift of happiness. I've given you, here it is, on a silver platter. I don't have a silver platter in front of me, but if I did, I'd hold it up. Okay. On a silver platter, you're welcome. Okay? It's a lie. It's complete nonsense. Like, it's complete nonsense. But you go on social media and people spout that shit all day. It's like, it's not true. Like, it's just not true. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, it's just not true. I'm sorry. I'm laughing, but it's funny to me. It's just like, wow, man. All the stuff that people tell me is, I mean, it's just a lie. It's a flat out lie. Okay. All right. I appreciate you too. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah, just like, anyway. But there's so many of those lies that people say that keeps you from actually seeing what the truth is. Okay, so what happens when you hear your network is your net worth? What do? You go out and start trying to find people that are that, right? Oh, well, I need to just change the people that I'm surrounded with, right? What do I do for my self-appreciation? I do this. Teaching you. That's what I do. I'm curious. I've heard that you can choose the person you become by intentionally choosing those 5 people. Yeah. No, I don't agree with that. And I'll tell you why I don't agree with it. Because, again, that assumes that stuff is not already a part of you. Getting mentorship, I agree with. Hey, I had a mentor. Okay. I had a mentor. So I agree with mentorship. Mentorship is great. Okay. Hey, I highly recommend it. In fact, one of my dreams is to find a student that will take the information that I have and just blow it up. Okay. Take just like my mentor did with me and taught me all the stuff that I'm teaching you through my experience. Like, that's my dream. Like, I want to do that. Okay. And at some point, I know I will. It just isn't right now, unless it is. I don't know. Right. But no, what I do for self-appreciation, I do these. I appreciate this knowledge so much. I love it so much because it saved me from years of nonsense, years of struggling and going through the same, I got to do personal development and all that nonsense. Years. Mentorship, I highly recommend. Okay. I highly recommend it. I can't recommend anything other than mentorship. Okay. But all a mentor does is put in front of you what you have blinded yourself to. That's all a mentor does. But a mentor is worth any price. Okay. Any price. Like, I'll tell you a story about my mentor. When he first started teaching me, he didn't charge me any money or anything like that, right? But about 3 months in, he told me he wanted me to give him $15,000. Okay, just like, boom, give me $15,000. Give it to me, right? Now, the man didn't need the money. He didn't need it. Okay. $15,000. But that money, that expression of appreciation to him was meant to keep me from deviating from that path. Okay. Now, he gave me that money back. Because, again, he didn't need the money. But he didn't have to do that. He could have kept it. But that was just one of the lessons that he was teaching me. But again, the point is, I cannot recommend mentorship enough. I've mentored several people, and it's been great. Although I've had one student that made me want to rip out my hair and Sam's hair, But either way,
Did you say my hair too?
Yeah, and her hair, I mean, she wasn't even involved, but the person drove me crazy. Rather I drove myself crazy by dealing with that person. I was just like, okay, hey Sam, give me your hair, But anyway, but I've mentored several people. I love it, right? So, but the thing is, I highly recommend mentorship. It doesn't have to be me; it can be anyone, right? I mean, if you're here every day, you're practically getting mentored by me anyway. Like that's just the case, right? You're getting mentored by me anyway. But yeah, like as I was saying, in terms of self-appreciation, again, self-appreciation just comes down to me doing something that I do that I enjoy doing that doesn't involve money. Like it doesn't matter. It's not about money. If someone wants to express appreciation to me in the form of money, great. I appreciate that. Right. And then they'll get the gift of happiness but it's a unit. It's all one big cycle. Okay. It's all one big cycle. So hopefully you have a better understanding of how that really works. Okay. Do you have a better understanding of how that works? Put it in the chat. And alternatively, I want you to think about something. Let's say, and I'm going to pull a hypothetical with you. Okay. Let's say that you get on a call with someone, right? And you're looking at a prospect. Okay. You're looking at a prospect. You think this prospect is going to be it. Oh, yeah. This is going to be the best prospect ever. Yes. Okay. Get on a call. They ask you, well, how much does it cost? But you don't know your value. You have no idea. What do you think is going to happen? Just thought experiment. What do you think is going to happen because you don't know your value? Maybe you've experienced this and you already know what happens. What do you think will happen? Billy, super duper do have a better understanding. Thank you. You are welcome. You are welcome. If you get on a call and you don't know your value, you won't receive it. You won't receive it. Hey, Haley, you can't lose something you never had. Like you didn't have a client. You had a prospect. And even then, you can't lose what you didn't have. Right? Think about it. You can't lose what you didn't have. When you're gaining a client, what are you really doing? You're creating that client. You're creating them. But you're creating them from within you. Yes, Nora, you don't ask for appreciation. No, not at all. And the reason you wouldn't ask for appreciation is why? Because you don't appreciate yourself. If someone came to you, here's another thought experiment for you. Okay. Let's say someone comes to you and then you tell them how much your price is. Oh, my price is so-and-so. And then they say this phrase to you. Oh, well, I don't think it should be worth that amount. You're creating them to continue your cycle of self-appreciation. Yes, Haley, exactly. Dr. Catherine. Yeah, yes, that's true. If you don't know your value, you won't receive it. That's exactly it. Hey, you think someone else is going to tell you what it is? No, because it comes from within you. You get what I'm saying? It comes from within you. Nora, this actually happened to me. Didn't ask for appreciation. You know, people get skittish about asking for appreciation because they're like, oh my God, I don't want to sound like I'm needy for money. You may know what I'm talking about, right? I had a student like that. She was like, oh, I can't charge that much. People can't afford that. Like, who are you talking to, right? This isn't about people. This is about you. Okay? This is about you. This has nothing to do with them. When you go to the grocery store, think of it this way. When you go to the grocery store and they tell you that that lunch meat that you bought is $7 a pound, do you go, hey, you know what? This should be $5 a pound because I don't think it's worth that. No, you paid $7 a pound. You know, you just requested expression of appreciation. So then why would someone do that to you? Because that's what you want them to do. That's why I've been stuck wondering what to offer you on one. Just message me and we'll talk about it. Okay? Just message me. We'll wrap. You know? But think about it. Do you go to the grocery store and tell the clerk that it's going to be $5 instead of $7? No, you just do it. Or you don't buy it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Apply that to your business. You get what I'm saying? Does that click? Like, it's kind of wild. You know? It's kind of wild. It's like, well, hey, look. So whatever prospect says they can't afford it, but they really want to work with you, then they don't want to work with you. They don't want to work with you. I can't afford it is a real. You know what I can't afford it is? It's an excuse that you would give. See, it's an excuse you would give when someone tells you, "Hey, I can't afford this," okay, and they're not even willing to negotiate. Then they really don't want it that bad. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's that simple. All this is really simple stuff. You know, it's like, well, wait a second. Why is my client saying they can't afford it? Because you want them to. You want them to say, I can't afford it, because then you have a reason to say, well, I didn't get that client. Yes, they're just reflecting how you feel about you. That's it. You're saying, remember what I said earlier? Remember what I said earlier about how you don't know your own value? So if you don't know your own value, how could they afford it? How could they afford it if you don't even know your own value? You can't afford it. That's what's really being said. Think about it. Think about it. Did it just click? Did it go, oh my God, yes. Like, think about it. If you don't know your own value, how could your prospect afford you? You can't even afford yourself because you don't know your own value. You don't know. You have no idea. You're just going through the dark, hoping to figure it out. Hoping, praying that you're going to figure it out. Oh my God, it's just going to hit me. It's just going to hit me. Yeah, it'll hit you, all right. It'll hit you when you look at your bank account and you're like, man, ain't nothing in here. And you know what you do? You use your bank account to determine what your value is. So you look at your bank account and go, man, I don't have enough money in here for this and this and this. Right? I don't have enough money. So that determines my value. No, your bank account has nothing to do with your value. What's in your bank account is irrelevant. Those numbers don't mean anything anyway. It's irrelevant. You may go, well, it's relevant to my bills. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. But that's what you tell yourself. That's what you tell yourself. You don't have to think like that. You don't. You can figure out what your value is. You can figure it out. And then when you talk to those people, they'll have no problem giving it to you. Because it's not a matter of I can't afford, because that's never the case. It's I don't want to afford. People afford what they want to afford. When someone wants a solution to their problem, they will go through. You may have experienced this yourself. Let's say you were in a really bad situation and someone offered you an out to that situation, even though you normally wouldn't accept that out. You're looking at the situation and you're like, you know what? I'm going to do this just so I can get myself out of this spot. I'm willing to put money on it that every single person here has done that at least once in their life. Like, at least once. At least once. So when you wanted to get out of a situation, you had no problem doing what you needed to do. So if someone can't afford something, it has nothing to do with them not being able to afford it. It has to do with the fact that they're not willing to do what it takes to get out of their situation. And you have no control over that. But what you do have control over is how much you appreciate you. That you do have control over. And the more you appreciate yourself in that way, the more that money will multiply. It will be exponential. Okay? You're sitting there looking, when I didn't make any money today. I didn't make any money today. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you're like, oh shit, I'm making what? How much a day? I'm making $300 a day every day. What the hell? I'm making $1,000 a day. What? What? When did this happen? That's what happens, and it don't take long. Like, it don't. It's just that because you don't know no better, you just know what you know. That's why it seems like it's going to take forever. That's why. The only reason you don't have no money is because you don't appreciate yourself. Bottom line. Bottom line. You like struggling. You like suffering. You like, being miserable. You like having to solve a problem so that you feel accomplished once it's done. You like the struggle. You like that. You love it so much, you're addicted to it. You're addicted to it. you can break that addiction. You don't have to stay like that. The question is, do you want to keep that addiction? Put it in the chat. Would I say that's a comfort zone? All right. So comfort zone. That's a interesting one. I would say that is your comfort zone. I would say that. In the case of business, you provide a business or service that's based on you. What about pain points, providing solutions, desires, et cetera, et cetera? None of that matters. None of that matters. Like, none of it. Because all it matters is, does it make you happy? Because that happiness is going to resonate to other people. That's it. Like, it does. Pain points, providing solutions. Hey, if you're doing something that makes you happy, aren't you already taking care of pain points? Aren't you already providing solutions? Aren't you already fulfilling desires? The answer is to all of that, yes. So why would you focus on that instead of just focusing on your emotional expansion? You know what I'm saying? Right. None of that matters. It doesn't matter. If you're focused on your happiness, your expansion, your emotional expansion, it does not matter what someone's pain points are. It doesn't matter what the solution is. People don't want solutions to their problems. They don't want solutions. I'm going to tell you that right now. You didn't come here for a solution. You didn't come here to learn from me for a solution. What you came here for was the feeling of freedom. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll wait. No one wants a solution to their problem. They just want to feel free. They want to feel happy. They want to feel something. It's not about a solution or a pain point. That's like sales 101. That right there is sales 101. I'm not teaching you sales, okay? I'm telling you that none of that matters. None of it. Do you enjoy it? What pain points did it solve for you? What solutions did it provide for you? What desires is it fulfilling for you? All of those things are answered in your emotional awareness. All of it. People want feelings. Haha, this is so true. It's not spoken about. No, it's not spoken about because it always becomes about your mindset. Oh, your mindset's the problem. No, the mindset's not the problem. Okay? I don't care what anybody tells you. Your mindset is not your problem. That's another lie that they tell you. Because then they say, oh, well, no, it's not in your mind. It's in your subconscious. And then you got to go through that. And then you got to dig through that for like 6 months. And then when you do that, then there's a layer deeper than that. I love to feel better, calm, and with overview and clarity. This is what I enjoy, and therefore my clients as well, right? You know it, Daniel. You know it, Daniel. You know it. It's not, look, your mindset has nothing to do with anything. Nothing. I'm so sick of hearing people say, oh, with your mindset, you got to change your mindset because if you don't change your mindset, then you're not going to make any money. No, your mindset has nothing to do with it. It never did. Did your mindset stop you from dancing around when you were a kid? No. Did your mindset stop you from growing up and having puberty? No. Did your mindset stop you from doing what you're doing right now, listening to me talk? No. So your mindset has nothing to do with any of that. Your mindset does not play a factor in anything that you do. Your emotions do. No one talks about it because they don't even know. They say your mindset creates your reality. No, it doesn't. Okay? No, it doesn't. Your emotions do. Your feelings creates your reality. It's not about personal development. No one's telling you to, or I'm not telling you to go out there and do personal development because you'll be spending years doing something that doesn't work for you. Then you'll be like, well, wait, there must be something wrong with me. I must be doing something wrong. I experience this on a daily basis. I work with emotions, help them resolve them, and the mindset changes within seconds. Right. The mindset happens after the emotions are dealt with, not before. Your brain is a slave to your emotions, a slave to it. But people use their brain as if it's the master, and it's not. The brain is nothing more than a tool for interpretation of the things in your environment. That's all your brain is. That's all your brain does. Haley, you are welcome. You're welcome. Now, I make this offer usually, and I've had several people take me up on it, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to make this offer again. If you want to get out of the world of confusion and frustration and anger, and you want to start fixing your stuff now, send me a message and we can book a call and you can talk to me one-on-one. We'll have a lovely chat. Ask Daniel. We had one. It was awesome. Okay. We can have a chat and you'll receive tons and tons of clarity. Okay. So if just saying, if that's something you're like, you know what? That's it. Let's do it. I'll help you with your own path. Okay? Your path, not 10,000 other paths. Get you on a straight line, not a jagged edge. Hit me up. Send me a DM. Send me one right now. Go ahead. Okay? If you've been thinking about it, you're like, oh man, I really want to do it. I just don't know. Do it. Do it. I promise you, you won't regret it. Like, you won't. You won't. Okay? I promise you. It'll be probably the most enlightening conversation you've ever had. And you'll walk away feeling real damn good. So, either way, do you guys have any questions for me? Whatever you got, go for it. No questions? Okay. Well, if you guys got no questions, then that's all good. Letting this sink in? Yeah. Hey, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot. I was going to say something about boundaries. What were you going to say about boundaries? I'm curious. What were you going to say? Well, you've been breaking a lot of beliefs with all you've been sharing. Hey, no problem. Glad to help. Glad to help. I got this thing in my neck. Like, there we go. I got it. How to set them in phase 2? All right. Great question. I got you, Haley. Don't worry. I got you. All right. Boundaries. Well, first and foremost, what are boundaries? Boundaries are limitations. When you're setting a boundary, what are you doing? You're setting a limitation. Phase 2 is about getting rid of your limitations. So in phase 2, you wouldn't be setting any boundaries. You would need to. There would be no need to set boundaries because in phase 2, you would only engage in what you are motivated or inspired to do that makes you happy. And if it doesn't do that, you wouldn't engage, period. So there would be no need to set a boundary or a limitation because you'd only be doing what you want to do. Does that make sense? Right? Makes sense, right? You wouldn't need to set a boundary. Like, there'd be no need. Any advice for someone who doesn't know what they want to do? Yes, I have a lot of advice for you in that regard. But I'll keep it simple, like I just did for Haley here. So here's what I'll say. All right. In terms of figuring out what it is that you want to do, the first step is stop doing all the stuff that you know you don't want to do. Like, stop doing that. Stop going through this figuring out phase. In fact, the thing that you want to do really chooses you. You don't choose it. Okay? It chooses you. The problem is that you haven't recognized that that thing has already chosen you because you may be doing a bunch of stuff you don't want to do. Make sense? Waiting for the chat to catch up. But anyway, yes, as I was saying. Yeah. In order for you to find out what you're supposed to be doing, yeah, so you got to stop doing all the stuff you don't want to do. You got to stop that first. So I'm going to say something that people will probably be like, no, I can't do that. Okay, but this is the truth. Okay, if you hate working at your job, you should just quit. Like, just stop working your job. Like, just stop working it. Like, I don't care what you tell me about your bills. Your bills already are a problem, right? When you keep working your job, isn't going to make your bills any less of a problem. Because, like, I'm just saying, like, you just quit your job, like, and start figuring stuff out as life goes, right? But most people won't even take that step because they're too busy worried about what they believe to be their obligations. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you have to do. Okay. But if that's something that it's about what you know you should do. And when you're like, oh, I really want to quit my job, but I can't because I got this and I got this, I got this, I got this. Like when people tell me, oh, I can't quit my job because I got a bunch of debt. Well, how long do you have to work at your job to pay off that debt? Oh, I got like, I don't know, 5 years. So you got to work at your job for 5 years to pay off a debt. Okay, so you're going to be stuck at that job for 5 years to pay off one debt. Okay, and how many other debts are you going to accrue during that time? You're just going to be working forever. So you may as well just stop now. You may as well just stop. Like, you know what? No, we're done. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. Okay, Dr. Catherine, do you become non-reactive to the negative in phase 2? Well, there's no such thing as negative. So in phase 2, you don't look at things as negative or positive. Actually, if you look at how I speak, you pay attention to the words I use. I very much stray away from using positive and negative words. Okay, words that could be perceived as positive or negative. And it has nothing to do with other people, it has to do with myself. It's what I don't use in terms of my language, you know? So I stray away from that completely. I do say, hey, that's really cool, that's awesome, this, that, and other, because that's what I feel. All right. But if something feels a different way, let's say it feels, terrible or whatever, I'm going to express the feeling, but that's not me judging the situation. I'm like, oh, that feels awful. Right. But that has nothing to do with the situation. It's not me judging. So it's not, when you're in phase 2, the need to judge everything that comes across you, it kind of magically just disappears. Okay. So there's no real need to look if something is negative or even positive for that matter, because it's all just an experience, period. It's just an experience, So just kind of think of it like that. It's just an experience at the end of the day. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. Now, in terms of safety and whatever the case is, the thing is, like, everyone, if you do podcasts, I'm passing on. Hold on. If you like podcasts, I'm passing on the appreciation I felt when I listened to Live Your Truth episode, most recent of the Mark Gross podcast. Helps you come from doing things logically to what oh, okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. So, yeah, again, it's not about judging everything that you do. Okay, it's not about that. Or what someone else does. In phase 2, you feel no need to do that. You just go, oh, okay. It's a mode of acceptance. You just accept that that's what's going to happen because you already know you have no control anyway. You have no control over what someone does. Like, do you have control over whether or not a tree grows? No, you have no control over that. Okay, you could cut down the tree. You could cut down the tree, but that's not going to stop other trees from growing, is it? No, right? It's not going to stop it. Period. Okay. You have no control over whether or not your hair grows. You have no control over whether or not the size of your nose, or you have no control over, whatever. You have no control over so many things. You can't even control whether or not you can hear or you can see. You just do those things. You just do them. In phase 2, you just accept it. That's it. You just accept it. In phase 1, you sit there and try to explain it to hell. You go, oh no, this is why, this is why, this is why, this is why, oh, this is why, this is why, this is why, this is why, oh, this is why, this. That's what you do. Over and over and over. For what? Like, what's the point? For what reason? There's no reason. None. You just do it. So with that, if there's no questions, I'll give you guys some time to ask more questions. I didn't realize it was I didn't realize that it was judging to call something positive. Yes, that's what it is. It's judging. You're saying, okay, that's bad, or that's good. Those are judgments. Okay. Judgments are a logical process. They're not an emotional process. They're a logical process. It starts here, okay, and then it comes out of your mouth. Like you don't feel that. You don't feel a judgment. You feel a certain type of way, but you interpret that in your mind, and then you turn it into a judgment. So, with that, guys, I got to go. I got a call. I got to be on pretty soon, so I'm going to go do that. But I want to thank every single one of you for being here. And if you're seeing this in the future because you're looking at a recording, I want to say, again, I appreciate you. I will catch you guys later. No problem. Adios.